Very good morning. Thanks for joining. So today I'm going to explain about a theoretical information about SDLC. Okay. So in the last session, okay, everybody you got it. What is meaning of software development lifecycle and what are the phases are there that you have learned, right? That you have learned. Software development lifecycle. What are the phases are available that everyone you got it. So there is no questions in SDLC model, right? In traditional software development lifecycle phases, no problem. Am I clear?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yes.
Right. So, but very important thing is when software development lifecycle came into the market, okay, the first software development lifecycle model name is waterfall model. Okay, waterfall model. So this is the first model. This is the first model which we have developed. We are using this waterfall model to develop the softwares. Yeah, very good. So today we will understand very clearly this waterfall model, how it develops, what are the pros and what are the cons, what are the advantages and disadvantages, which are the projects are suitable to develop under waterfall model, which are the projects are not suitable to develop under waterfall model, that we need to understand. Because in interview, okay, if you're going there, if you're going to attend interview, they will ask you some they will put some questions like logical questions like why we are going to DevOps model, why we are going to Spear model. So why we are going to iteration model, why we are going to waterfall model. Okay, why should not go to these models? They'll ask you some craft questions in an interview. So if you have a correct process of each software development lifecycle model, so you can able to explain them in an interview, you can get clear the interview. That's a very important. But practically, this model we never follows. Okay, until unless the DevOps model, Agile model, the rest of the models we are not following. But as a DevOps engineer, we need to know about this process. That's a very important. Okay, good. So whatever the software development lifecycle phases are there, the same phases is available. The same phases is available in waterfall model also. Waterfall model also. Okay. So first of all, we will be preparing what are the phases are available. What are the phases are available? Total 6 phases. Total 6 phases are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these are the total 6 phases are available. So we need to give the name of the phases. We know about it. Requirement, and analysis.
I'll just quick things. I would just wanna like your voice breaking down. I don't know. Praveen is having the same issue.
Okay.
Like struggling to come the voice.
Okay. Your voice is fine to me, Rajesh.
I think
Okay,
it's then mine. I'm just gonna cut and then join. Yeah, I just want to double check it. Okay.
please, please. So the first phase is requirement analysis. The second one, system design. And third one, implementation.
Good now. Thank you.
Third one is implementation. Fourth one is testing. Fifth one, deployment. And the last phase is maintenance. Maintenance. Last one is maintenance. Okay. These are the total 6 phases are there. These are the total 6 phases are there. So how these models are arranged? Okay. These models are arranged in steps wise. Okay, steps wise. So once the requirement analysis is completed, we'll go to system design. And once the system design is completed, the implementation will start. Once implementation is completed, testing will start. Once the testing will get completed, deployment will start. And once the deployment is completed, maintenance will start. So this completer, okay, this completer, the phases are everything, they planned like a step by step in order. Suppose if the requirement analysis is not completed, the system design will not complete. So here it will stop. The work will stop here. If you gather all the requirements, okay, and analysis is completed, then you'll go to the system design. So every phase is the input of the previous step. Example, the requirement analysis is the input of the second stage system design. The system design is input of implementation, second stage. And implementation input of testing. So testing is input of deployment. Deployment is input of maintenance. So every step before step is a input. So the previous step, if it is not completed, the current step will not get completed now. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It's well and good. So what is a main challenges and what are the main phases we will be following in the waterfall model? Let me tell you. Suppose we have taken a software requirement from the client. I'm the product owner. I have created the phases. The phase wise, we are going to do that. Suppose in case in one area I got stopped. So once it is stopped, the remaining phase will not get stopped. So here only the project will get completed. It's a failure concept. That means failure project. Maybe if you are skipping one phase to another phase, no, it is not possible. So once it's successfully completed, go for second. Suppose the implementation is failed, right? Shall we go back to the system design and we can rework and can we restart the implementation? No, even that is not possible. Reverse order is not possible. Reverse order is not possible. So that's why this model, the software development lifecycle model, we'll name it as waterfall model. Okay. This SDLC model was given as a waterfall model. Suppose in a waterfall, in the top peak of it, so if you are dropping some object, some item, it will not turn back, right? So that's the reason. If any work, if you are put here, come to this phase, come to this phase, come to this phase. In case if anywhere it is failed, it will be blocked and it will not come back. Suppose in the requirement specification area, okay, in the requirement specification area or analysis area, if some information you're not properly gathered and if you're not properly, you have analysis and you start working on this project, and due to this, your mistake, if the project, maybe chances are there, okay, maybe the product will not get a proper output. Maybe in that particular phase, maybe the project will get stopped at any point of time. Okay. When you can use waterfall model in real-time environment. So the point number one, when your requirements are constant and it is not changing regularly, your requirements are very, very clear-cut inputs, very constant. They're not changing it. So then you can choose a waterfall model. Point number one. Point number two, if your project is a short, you can implement. If a project is very small, you can implement. For bigger projects, waterfall model is not suitable. Why? I'll tell you in the disadvantages area. And in the waterfall model, what are the tools and the technologies if you are using that should be constant? You should not change it. So whatever the requirement was gathered in the system design, what are the tools and the technology we have mentioned in that? So once you started, so then you'll go for implementation area. Based on the technology tools, we will start using and building it. In case of in between that, if you are trying to change the tools or technology, the complete project will get failure.
Okay.
Next, what are the resources we have mentioned in the requirement analysis and the system design? It's a very clear. Okay. The preparedly available for the resources, then you can start the project. Maybe few resources we have available, few resources is not available right now. Maybe in between of the project it is coming. Don't start the project. Once you gather all the resources for the project, you can start. If the resources are maybe 10% are pending, 5% are pending, okay, don't start the project. And if it's very clear, when resources are well prepared, then you can use this project. So waterfall model, otherwise no. Yeah, please go ahead. You're asking some question.
Yeah, actually, when I was starting my career, I had seen this waterfall model. For actually, I'm from the mainframe background, so I had seen the waterfall model being used there for the mainframe projects. So if a
In
program
mainframe
is a
development, right? In
right,
mainframe
exactly,
development.
right,
Hmm. So mostly mainframe developments, what I know, I'll tell you. So basically, you will be creating some job schedulings, right?
right,
Right?
right,
So the job schedulings means that's not a big task in my point of view. Okay. That is a small task they will take that you will implement and finally you will get an output. So somebody will do in the maintenance area regularly. They will collect the information. They'll be sharing information to stakeholders. So definitely waterfall model in this area, it will be suitable because of mainframe projects. The requirements are that's not taking the complete project in one go. They'll be cut down into small things. So you will be implementing. There is a chances that a waterfall model can be implemented. But I never worked in the mainframes area. I know about it because of my friends, my colleagues, especially my wife. She is working in mainframes team only. So that's why I have some idea about it. Yeah, good. Waterfall model is it's suitable for okay short-term projects, short projects. Right. So any other questions before moving to advantages and disadvantages?
no, no, Rajesh.
No, clear? Hassan?
Clear. Just like a straightforward line by line, one, step by step. You cannot go back. That's the news.
Right, right. You should not go back. Everybody have different models are there. This model is like this. Okay. So let's go to advantages of waterfall model. Okay. The start and end phases are fixed. So it will be very clear understanding the progress. Okay. This all phases are very clear. The starting and ending point, all the phases, which makes it clear cut progress will be we can see here in the waterfall model. So anybody can see the documentation, the progress. Okay, where is the project it is? Still how many days to complete this particular phase? And the next how many days we can complete the project. So we have a clear cut vision in the waterfall model. The next advantage is the release date of the a complete product with the final cost. So we have a clear cut vision. Okay, in these many days, I'm going to complete this. And this is a project budget. So within the budget, I'm going to complete. We have a clear cut vision. In the waterfall model, the requirements are very simple and explicitly they will be declared whatever the information we have gathered from the client. Okay. So whatever we are not discussed, we are not included in the requirement analysis sheet. So the project is clear cut information. This is the scope of the work we are going to develop in this project. And waterfall model is clearly giving that it is a small projects, right? It's a simple implementation. So what are the resources where requirement for minimal to complete this project that we have clear cut vision. We are not giving any kind of unnecessarily spending some other resources, wasting of our money and time as well. This is basically advantages. Disadvantages also is there. this waterfall model is, okay, risk factor is high. Why? Any idea?
Like if somebody in some stage make any kind of mistake, you cannot go back.
That's correct. That's correct. Absolutely right. So this model is not suitable for, okay, more significant and more complex projects. Understand? More significant and more complex projects, it is not suitable. So that's why risk factor is a higher. And the second disadvantage is during the project life cycle, okay, this model cannot accept the changes in requirement during the development. During the development, will not accept any requirements. So customer, they're paying money, okay, but we are not accepting the in middle requirements. Maybe the requirements we can implement in the next version, but current life cycle we are not adding. As we discussed, the waterfall model is only suitable for small projects, not for larger projects. And the second thing is, in case of any phases are getting failed, we will not go back to the previous stage. That's a very tough process. It's even though if you're trying, it will be a very tough process. So you cannot go back. So your project is get ended. So again, you have to start from the scratch. Maybe you forgot here, and again you have to start from here. You forgot here, again you have to start from here. So anywhere if you are failed, so then rework from the basics, from the requirement analysis. So that is a waterfall model here. Any other question?
It's good to me.
Good, thank you. Hassan?
I'm clear on this.
Okay, thank you. Praveen, clear, right?
Yeah, Rajesh, all good.
Okay. This is waterfall model, right? The another important model is iterative model. Why iterative model is developed? What is the reason?
Are you talking about agile?
Not like that.
Is it like a step by step, continuously changing? I mean, not like exactly a Scrum we're talking about. Like I just trying to get the vibe of the name.
Yeah, that's correct. See, in the waterfall model, step by step you are following, right? In case it is step is failed and you're not go back, right? Maybe in case in middle of the changes, you need to rework on it, right? So iterative model is developed. So in iterative model, the development starts with a small set of requirements. Small set of requirements means I'm going to take all the same phases, no changes at all. Okay, no changes at all. Even suppose we have a total information, if you are not available, waterfall model will not start, right? So in the iterative model, if you have a small information, we got it from the customer, so we can start the work. Okay, so the development starts with a small set of requirements. Okay. So once this set of requirements is completed, the new set of requirements again we will be implemented. So you are my customer. You're giving some input, but you're not get clearly what you need. Okay. I'm your software development project head. Okay. So you're giving some input based on this many hours. I'll be charging for this project. So I have taken the requirement. I immediately started the project. The inputs are very not clear. That's not completely your provided information. Some information only gathered, and based on my experience, I will pull more information to start the work, and we'll go for system design and implementation. So here in this process, okay, the implementation goes on iterative unless the complete of the set of all the requirements. If it is not completed the project, so continuously they're giving the inputs, again rework it, again redesign the work, again go for testing. Again, if the testing is not successfully done, again go for implementation, again retesting. So this iteration will be keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. So like this. Like this. And even these phases are connecting back to these phases. Understood? This cycle will be keep on repeating. We call this the meaning of it, it's called iterative model. But this iterative model, how practically it is implemented? How practically it is implemented? So only these requirements we are gathering, okay? Requirements we are gathering, they will be doing like a phases wise. Like example, we have a build one, one phase will get completed. Build two, one phase will get completed. And build three, one phase will get completed. Everyone, it is as a individual builds. Okay. So here in this build, design is there. Design is there. Testing is there. And implementation is there. But here order is small changes. Order is small changes. Same way in all the builds, system design, testing, implementation, they'll be taking care of it. So these all builds, when it will get success means once you gather the requirement, So based on the requirements only, it will start the different builds. But this project is designed for, okay, big projects. This project is designed for big projects. Why? Because the complete project we cannot complete it in one life cycle. So then cut down into small projects, and the projects we will be successfully completing with the number of bits. So the project will be cut down into small pieces, right? We call it as units. So each unit will get developed in this particular build. But in this build, in case of any time, if a requirement is needed, they will take input. They're always welcoming the inputs, the requirements. They'll add, they'll take some time to implement it. So what are the testing we are doing here in each build? We call as unit testing. What are the tests we are doing it? Unit testing. So when we are use this model in real-time environment, when we are using this model we will be applicable for highly risky projects. In case of if you are handling, you please use this iterative model. Even in your team, not a skilled persons to implementing this project, yes, you can take it. Maybe during the in middle of the time you want implementing any new technologies, maybe in future or maybe right now, you are learning on the way, you can use it. Maybe client wants to work with you, okay, each iteration, what is the output they will be doing, even they don't have a clear cut instructions, they don't have clear cut vision. So your client wants to closely work with you. So in each builder, how the work will be going, and based on there, they'll be giving some other solution, some ideas, they'll be start working on another build to achieving this. You can start. If requirements are clearly defined, okay, in the project, but requirements are clearly defined is required, okay. So these are the main situation you can start it. So what is the advantages? What is the advantages in this project? The advantages of the project is every iteration, the model is ready, right? So the working model is ready, end of the iteration. So you don't get some kind of idea here. The model, once you get completed, you have some idea. So the model will get ready for every iteration. This is one more iteration. Maybe within the same one iterations will be doing that between system design to testing, testing to implementation, like that. So here risk management is easy. Okay, risk management is easy. So because of even client within the visibility level only we are doing the work. So client will not question you most of the times because of they have clear cut vision, because of they don't have a proper inputs for the project. Even they're also trial and error method. So they'll not put more pressure on these projects. Okay. And risk management is easy. In case out of all the requirements, maybe any specific requirements, maybe it's a tough or a highly risk, you can take the charge and you can inform to the customer, you can implement the first. So if you are taking the toughest one first, maybe you can spend more time and you can complete your work on time. So feedback can be taken from the client for each iteration. So once iteration is completed, you will talk to customer. They will check and give the feedback. Suppose the multiple features you want to develop, okay, in a shorter span of time, you can increase the strength of your team. Parallelly, you can do your work. Like example, build will be doing parallelly. Build 1 is doing the parallelly. Build 3 also doing parallelly. So At a time, you can do your work simultaneously. This project is completely suitable for large and critical projects. Okay? And what is the cons? This project is suitable for, this model is suitable for smaller project. Okay? Smaller, not a small project. It's not suitable for the small projects. Okay? Only big projects. So that is a disadvantages. If you have a very small work, if you have a very small project, you should not use this model. Why?
We will have to create multiple teams working on multiple builds. So,
Okay. Because if you have a small project, we can directly go to waterfall model, right? Huh?
right.
You have a clear-cut vision, right? We can start on it. So here in the more resources are required implementing in this project. So if you are doing this work, more resources. More resources means number of people is needed because of when you want to complete the project as soon as possible. And another thing is the management complete attention is required. The closure attention is required to implement this project. In case of anything is keep on iterating the time taking process. So someone, the senior intervention is required to complete it. So the more attention management is required. So here complexity is more when we are working this project because of in between that we are taking inputs right from the customer, and again we are rechanging and we are redoing the work. So complexity is more. That is a disadvantages. So whatever the project we are implementing, that's not properly defined. So that means it will be a very risky project. Maybe it will get success or maybe failure. Okay, it will be get success or failure. That's until you completing the number of iteration. So successful implementation between one phase to another phase, one build with another build. Finally, you completed all the builds, integration is successfully done. The final project will get completed. Otherwise, in case of any failure, maybe the project will not move to the end. Okay, there is a chances are there failure. So these are the disadvantages will be there. These are the disadvantages will be there. Coming to, you can see here, waterfall models. Okay, images you can see here. Okay, like this. System requirement, gathering analysis, system design, implementation, testing, deployment, maintenance. Iterative model is there. So iterative model also look like the same waterfall model only, but its looping will be available. Its looping will be available. You can see here. Planning and deploy. In the planning, the keep on, it will get circulating the jobs. So like this. In case of chances are, we can redesigning it. So requirement, planning, analysis, implementation, testing, evaluation. So until gets successfully done, then you'll go for deployment. In case of it is any failure, this iteration will be keep on going. So once the successfully completing this cycle, then you'll go for the next one. Otherwise, the project will stop here. The deployment will not go. Are you clear? So what is meaning of iterative model? At any point of phase, you can come back and you can do your requirement analysis and you can go to the next phase.
So, question, one thing is just like as an iterative product, it is like in a very small summary, it is good for medium range kind of project, and in a that phase of analysis, I mean, like this 4 middle stage, not like a waterfall, like 1 to 6 or to 7, like in middle of 3 to 4 stage, like build, design, and implementation. All those things, they can be like go back and forth if as needed, and it's not for a small. And I
Exactly.
understand, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And
Correct.
here is the question. Like I know I just want to hear just like a summary from you. So as like all the project, everybody face some kind of issue, even though in an agile it's a repetitive. But how long of that phrase could be? Is it like something like in the waterfall model that is like based on 6 months or a year? But they should have a like a little kind of frame that in a iterative model should be run for like 3 months, 4 months. Is there any specific boundaries for that time frame?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's every project has some kind of releasing date, right? Okay.
Yes,
Based
yes.
on the releasing date, the phases are adjusted and number of resources are hiring, and we
Right.
will be working number of hours in a day, in a week. So we will be doing that the implementation, and we will releasing the software. Okay. So that's clear cut. The SDLC, the planning will be doing initial stage when you start working. Okay. But as of now, we discussed today,
Hmm.
if you have a very clear cut plan, but it's a very big project, you can go for iterative model. It's a very small project, means you can go to the waterfall model, you can implement it. Depends on the situation, you can choose one of the best software development lifecycle model. You just follow the process.
Okay.
Without process, if you are going now, so maybe there is a chances of failure. Okay.
Right.
Because of everything is we are spending a time, money, huh? So
Yep.
that will be waste, right? If you are not properly doing that. Maybe with the system, if you're doing, maybe if you fail, that's a different story. Okay.
Yeah.
If the person is going in the correct way, and if you get accident, okay, that's a different story. The person is going opposite direction and getting an accident, means that's not good, right? Okay. There is a probabilities are there, 90% of the probabilities that he's getting accident because of he's going opposite direction. Okay. So nobody will show the courtesy so on him. Suppose if the person is going on correct direction, yeah, definitely someone will come and they'll help you. Huh?
Right. So it's like a kind of like, I mean, kind of like a little bit of hybrid of agile and
That is our
like
after that the
waterfall
agile models,
in
everything
the
is
middle.
developed after that, recently developed, and past few years we are using it. But early stage, the software development life cycle when it is started, okay, the computer technology when it is started in that area, SDLC, the first model is waterfall model.
Right.
Maybe when we can check that waterfall model when it started.
That's too early. IBM age.
Yeah, 1970. Okay. So 1970. It's a very long back. So maybe agile In the year of 2000. After 20 years, right?
Yep.
After 30 years.
30 years.
After 30 years. After 30 years, its agile model is started. So definitely they have a pros and cons will be there. So slowly we will understand because of you understand today waterfall with iterative model. So
Yes.
models also is there that I will explain in the next session. Okay.
Sure. Sure.
And we are finally going with the DevOps with Agile only. Okay. No
Right.
method.
Yeah.
But as a DevOps engineer, finally when we are working on it, somebody will ask you, we have some clear-cut vision. Hey, that's a problem. This technology is there. We are working on it. If you're doing the same mistake now, so why we are working on DevOps? So we need our roots. Okay.
Yep.
We need our roots. So what it is, what is our strength? Huh? So then we are finding it in this particular classes. Okay. So tomorrow we will be have some kind of differences between all the services like waterfall, agile, iterative model. Uh, so different models are there, right? All the models
Yes.
will put some kind of one table and we can discuss there so that you can keep it with you in the document. So whenever you're going for an interview, you can prepare well and you can go for it. Okay.
Definitely.
Right. Thank you. And I'll make it some pros and cons and everything. Okay. Between most of the times, the people are asking the question, the difference between agile and DevOps, agile with waterfall model. This type of questions they will ask. But mostly you'll get confusion, right? That's the
Right.
reason I'm not
Now
taking
it got
individual
clear.
class,
It got
everything
clear.
in one batch. So upcoming classes we'll discuss. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye. Bye. Al.
Bye, Praveen. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sam. Bye, everyone. Bye, Rajesh. Thank you.